Welcome back to another video. It's Bradford v Salford City match reaction. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments down below. A 1-1 draw then, but I'm sure it's not the result that hurts the most at this moment in time with a football club. We've had the series of interviews from Ryan Sparks. Tomorrow I'm sure I'll do another video on reacting to part 3, 4 and maybe part 5 will be out tomorrow, where basically it's just Ryan Sparks bigging himself up. You know, he's very much up his own you know what, and he just bigs himself up all the time. He's very arrogant. He's a big head. But he's got to do that. He's got to do that because there's nothing to talk about at the club at this moment in time that you can try and praise or cover up or try and pull the wool over your eyes, because this football club is going one way and one way only, and that's further down. It's rotting. It's rotting. It's like a corpse in your house that you've left there for 2 weeks, and it stinks, and it's getting revolting. And that corpse, you know, if it don't move away, it will just linger, and we are lingering in this division. You know, we had a good season last season. It were a fluke, and it just drains the life out of the football club. It drains the life out of the fans. Players come and go. You know, they're absolutely rubbish. They don't care about this football club. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. You know, we've seen that time after time. You know, there's players on that football pitch today that just didn't put any effort in. They didn't care. They didn't care. You know, they'll be sat in the dressing room now. They'll be sulking. They'll have their heads down, but they don't care about the result. They don't care about how it affects us. You know, they'll come out against Saturday against Swindon, all happy with the interviews, and you know, we'll go and lose there or draw there and drop points again and end up mid-table, but they don't care. I think there's maybe Allardy, Gilead, Cook, perhaps. I don't think he does. You know, there's only a couple of players in that squad, Allardy and Gilead, consistently this season, who can have their heads held high, because they know that they've come out of that game of put in 100% effort. And if you had a team of Allardy and Gilead, you'd get somewhere, but we don't. And until we do, I don't have any faith that we can recruit players like them, because I don't have faith in the recruitment. I don't have faith in the management. I don't have faith in the ownership, and I don't have faith in the CEO. I don't have faith in anyone in this football club. And I don't have faith that the fans can start a movement. You know, I know that I could and I don't. And I know that others could and I don't. And I know that we had an opportunity with the tennis balls and naught came of it. And that's because, you know, maybe the people were going to do the tennis balls, but I never were. I'll admit it. You know, maybe I'm a hypocrite for saying that. You've got to call it out. But at the end of the day, you've also got to follow it up with actions. And we're just as bad as the board. We'll come out and we'll say we'll do something, and then we don't follow it up with the actions of doing it. But like I say, there's just no interest, and you get the radio saying, you get people saying, you know, that no one at the ground and all that. Can you blame anyone for not going to watch that? You know, I didn't go. I'll admit it. I didn't go tonight. You know, my dad came home from work. He was tired. You know, I kind of wanted to go, but at the same time, I couldn't really be that bothered. I've lost interest in the club, but then you've got to take into account, again, like I say, it's a Tuesday night, people have been working hard all week, and the conditions play a part in it. You know, strong winds, storm jostling now. I mean, we're getting more storms than Bradford City have wins this year, and that's actually true. That's very scary. That's frightening, actually. I said it as a joke, but we've only had one wind this year, and we've had 3 storms already. Storm Gerrit forward, we've had Storm Isha, and we've now got Storm Jocelyn. I mean, that's not good. But yeah, you've got the weather that you've got to throw into the equation. But at the end of the day, it's not the big thing that you can take from why fans didn't go. There's just no connection to the club. There's no feeling. There's no emotion anymore. I'm not interested, and I'm sure most of you are, about the result. I'm interested in the football club and the fact that it's not going anywhere and we're on our knees. You know, I don't have any faith that we can go somewhere, and it's just a disgrace from top to bottom. And I called it out before the good run. I didn't call it out during the good run, but that's because I thought there was a stupid amount of optimism in me. Alexander could turn it around and maybe just pull the wool over our eyes with results and just get on with it with the players that he had. And obviously those players are cowards, as much as the club are for not putting their attendance stats out, which they always do, and they always go, we've got 17,000 fans who come up to our ground, and look how good our fans are, yet they don't care about us, and backstab us all the time in the interviews, doing slight remarks about how bad the fans are, and trying to turn the Sparks ins and the Rupp ins against the Sparks out, and that's how it causes a divide and a friction. That's why we don't get anywhere. So they say how good our fan base is, and look at our attendance figures, we're great, look at a great club we are, connecting to the fans, we're 13th with the fan engagement. I don't know if we are 13th, but we're high on the fan engagement. But look at us now, take a look in the mirror, smell the coffee, and you will see an ogre staring at you in the face, because we are in, you know, I said it, we're like a puppy that's just arrived, you know, there's mess all over the floor. You know, it's just a farce. It's an absolute disgrace. And you know, I'm sorry for ranting, but I'm just sick of this football club. I'm honestly sick of it, but I support it, and I'm sick of supporting it. But it's what you've got to do. You know, for some stupid reason, I was born in Bradford. My dad was also born in Bradford, and his dad was also born in Bradford, and they all decided to support Bradford City. And look at us now, you know, we're all stupid, but it's like a religion, innit? You know, you have your beliefs and your faiths, but then when you start not to believe it, you start not to believe in God, you start not to believe in Santa. You know, it don't feel the same going to church, it don't feel the same going to Christmas. Well, you don't go to Christmas, it just happens in the calendar scheduling, but at the end of the day, Christmas don't feel the same, because Santa's fake, and I've just realised that there may be younger audiences. I'm joking. Santa's real. You know, he's not some 60-year-old man with a outgrown beard who just eats mince pies all day, who hangs around in Broadway. That's not what happens. He's a very real man who likes reindeers and rides them. Santa's completely real. We all know that. I was just messing around. But at the end of the day, it's like that. When you stop believing in it, it's like, it's not the same anymore, and I don't believe in this football club. I don't have faith in this football club, so I don't want to go to watch this football club, but I bloody have to, and I'm sick of that. But yeah, the result and the performance I hadn't spoke about at all, and that was shambolic, to be honest with you. We didn't have. We played how we are run. How funny is that? You know, you can't get away with it. You are what you eat. You are what you are, and we are a football club that has no direction, and we had no direction on the pitch today. We got the ball, we kicked it, and we didn't have a bloody clue where it was going. We headed the ball, it went up in the sky, and it went back to Salford. That was the game. If you want a better bit of analysis, go somewhere else, because that's all I'm giving you. We had the ball, we give it to Salford. We had one moment of brilliance from Gilead running in midfield. He hit the post, and Halliday just happened to be there to tap it in. That's all we did, and Odwar should have had a penalty, but I'm not going to go on too much about that. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to Wembley, because now the pressure's on. The expectation's there to go and get to Wembley. We'll bottle it, because we've got a team full of bottlers. We won by bottlers, and we've got a team full of bottlers. I mean, we may as well be sponsored by Just Stop Oil. And I do have to apologise for my worst ever video coming out yesterday. I don't know what happened. It was a 10-minute and 30-second video. There was 4 minutes worth of editing that stayed in. I was looking at how to figure out how you sync, how outsyncing works, and how it becomes synced, how it becomes outsynced, and how you sync it back, and I couldn't figure it out. And obviously, whilst I was doing that, I must have messed with clips that I edited out that stayed in. So you got a lot of stuff that shouldn't have been in. I mean, I was talking nothing a lot of the time. You know, I was looking at my notes and going, right, where am I? And that's not supposed to be there, because, you know, it's like watching BBC News and you're seeing that woman counting down and then the middle finger pops up. I mean, at least nothing like that happened. But at the end of the day, it could have, and it could have been very, very bad and dangerous, because all could have happened. I mean, could have been on the phone, although I won't be on the phone to anyone, no one bothers with me, but I could have been. I could have been doing loads of things, to be honest, but yeah, I could have been singing. That's what I was trying to say, because I normally sing when I've lost my way and I go, where am I? A song comes to my head. with something that I might have just said, and then I'm singing, so I'm glad that didn't get out. But I've slightly lost my way there. But at the end of the day, like I say, I'm glad that I didn't go, because I bet a lot of people are regretting it. And if you did go and you're regretting it, let me know your thoughts on the game. I forgot to say that, because that was absolutely diabolical. We just sapped the life out of everyone and everything in this football club, don't we? Mark Hughes was known for being one of the most passionate, most aggressive footballers, with the highest amount of work rate in the 80s and 90s. Took that onto his management career, and at City could not be bothered to even move off his chair with his arms crossed, and ended up not caring in interviews or showing any bit of passion towards the football club or interest, and ended up getting sacked. Alexander came in, barking on his touchline, players pressing high. Now there's players sat deep, seemingly don't care themselves apart from the second half, when they can seem to get motivated after his team talk, and now he's just stood down the touchline compared to Carl Robinson, who has his team fired up and he's jumping around the touchline like he's in a pantomime. I mean, that just says everything, and you can keep going back, and it always happens, the same thing happens, and you've got to start questioning these people who are still sparksing and whooping, and I have nothing against you if you are, but it's not the players' fault. You know, there's some good players there, and that is the players' fault. But they come and go, that's my point. You know, there's good players who have come, good players who have gone, and there's bad players who have come and gone as well. That's just football. And you've got good managers who have gone, and good managers who have come, and have failed. And no managers succeeded here until Phil Parkinson left. And when Phil Parkinson left, Stephen Rupp entered. And there's a theme, and I'm sick of talking about the theme, because it's just relentless. You know, Alexander's not going to succeed here unless Ryan Sparks goes and Stephen Rupp goes. I mean, it's doable to be successful with an absent owner, but it's impossible to be successful with an absent owner and a CEO who needs support in his area of football, and then a recruitment team that can't deliver, a squad of players who can be bothered to put a bit of effort in on a Saturday and a Tuesday. And a Tuesday, where they've had a full week and 3 days off. I mean, that's pitiful. I will criticise Graham Alexander, because today his team selection he got massively wrong. How Ash Taylor can still be starting, I do not know. I mean, that man, he's only starting because he's got Ronaldo in his contacts. That's all there is to that. I mean, I refuse to believe that man can start for Bradford City week in, week out, and have a good enough reason for it, because it ain't bloody performances, because he's woeful week in, week out, and he's a liability. I mean, I think it's just laziness. He's just stood there, and he's huffing and puffing all the time, and he can barely move off the ground, and every time he heads the ball, his only attribute he's got is to win a header, and every time he wins a header, it goes up in the air and loops around and then bounces back to Salford. It never gets directed to one of our players. Tompkinson don't win as many headers, but when he does, it's straight into the feet of a Bradford City man, 9 times out of 10, whereas Ash Taylor, there's no direction to it, and like I say, the direction thing comes and goes. It keeps coming, because there's nothing in the direction when you're talking about Bradford City. So the player ratings, we'll start off with Walker. I think it makes sense to start with the goalkeeper. Sorry for going on quite a while, but it's a lengthy one. Walker, he gets a 2. He conceded, I don't know if it was his fault or not, he parried it straight to Ryan Watson on the edge of the box, so he obviously got quite a lot of strength behind it. So good wrist work with that, but at the end of the day, he conceded, didn't do a lot more, but distribution were good, and to be fair, came out box, claimed a lot of aerial crosses, so I'm quite pleased with him so far from what I've seen. Brad Halliday gets a 4, the only player along with Gilead who can walk with a head held high. So yeah, got a good goal and shows 100% every game, and that's all you ask for, and there's too many bloody players who don't. So you've got to look at your Hallidays, your Gileads, your Walkers, Andy Cook, and for me, Kieran Kelly, building around them. And one of those wasn't even bloody playing. I mean, it highlights the bloody problems, doesn't it, with the selections, the management, and the higher ups. But yeah, And maybe Sam Stubbs, he had a good game. I'll give his player rating now. I'll give him a 4. Nah, it's generous. I'll give him a 3 because he was at fault for the goal. He should have put a foot in. But apart from that, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he read everything that came his way, got his body in the way of a few shots, read the game, like I say, down that left side. I think it suits him on the left side, to be honest with you, but Kelly's got to come in. Some good tackles. And when you're playing next to Liam Rideout, who gets nothing, I'm not giving him all. You turn up, and that's expected, and that's all he did. Nothing. Ash Taylor gets a 1 because he turned up and won a few headers, but they didn't go anywhere, and he's a liability, and he was at fault for the goal, along with Stubbs and Smallwood and Dodra and Rideout. But he's just not good enough, and he's abysmal, and his body language does me head in. So not against him, but everything that I just said. John Tonkinson gets a 3. I thought he was quite solid, to be honest with you. I don't think a lot got past him. Very assured on the ball. I like him a lot. Good pace, and won a few headers. So very average performance, to be fair. Smallwood gets a 1. The set pieces are a joke, but then Chapman had 1, and that was 10 times worse than anything I've seen at Smallwood. So no wonder Smallwood's on it. And that's why no one else gets to go, because they're just as bad. So yeah, that was worrying. But yeah, Smallwood, he was at fault for the goal, give the ball away in midfield, and throughout the game, I mean, Luke Bolton stepped in, just walked past him and had a shot. He didn't put a foot in, and that reminded me of Morecambe. And there were a few instances, especially in the first half, where his head was down, and when the chips are down, Smallwood's down. Which in what you want to see. So he as captain, you're to blame for a performance like that when you can't motivate your players who aren't putting the effort in, and he wasn't. Gilead gets a 3, an average performance, but a player who's shone out because they gave 100%, which is disgraceful, to be honest with you. That you're getting contenders for man of match because you're putting effort in, and I can't associate with a Bradford City squad who can't put effort in. But with Gilead and Dalladine, you're going to get that, and that's why they're pivotal to us to build around them, because they're not selfish. They care about the club, clearly, and they care about themselves, because, if you're not going to do it for the fans, which a lot of players don't care, and if you're not going to do it for the manager, which a lot of players don't care, do it for yourself. Have a bit of pride in your work. Put a bit of effort in for you, because if you don't even care about yourself, then what are you doing? What are you doing? At the very minimum, you walk off a football pitch and say, I give my all today, but it just didn't come off. I just didn't have as much quality as the opposition. But those players obviously don't care about that. And it'll be interesting to see what Alexander thinks of it, and what he thinks of it if he gets the chance in the summer to get rid of those players, because they have all the statistics on who won the most. I'm sure there's a lot of players who didn't won as far as they should have. We'll go with Vodra, to be fair, it follows it. 1. He's got quality, and I think that's why Alexander likes him, because it's clear he's got ability and quality, but he just does nothing with it. He's forever doing lollipops. It's like he's got an electric band stuck on the what would it be, the X, I'm getting mixed up with Xbox and PlayStation. X and A on Xbox, and PlayStation it's X and square. Anyway, the fake cross. It's like he's got an elastic band just wrapped around that. So it's just forever jinking and jiving, and just bloody shoot or cross it. You're delaying our momentum. You're not delivering anything off the back of it, and his quality's just not there. He don't have a lot of confidence. He's always passing backwards. But just bloody shoot or cross. Stop messing around with it. Like I say, it's just killing anything that we could have of a chance. And it's very predictable. So I'm sick of that. And when you look at Pointer and Chapman, they're players who could easily be playing ahead of him. So I think he's very fortunate to still be playing after being playing since Walker left for the injury room. So, I think he's very fortunate to still be in the matchday squad, because for me, he hasn't done bugger all to deserve to be playing over some players who have. Very unfortunate for Pointer and Chapman to miss out from Colchester. And then we had Tariq White making his second debut. He gets a 2 because it was his debut. You know, you're trying to form partnerships and build chemistry with a squad again. But I thought he were a bit lazy today. I thought he didn't put as much effort in. I don't think he pressed the defenders as much as he could have and should have. But it comes with not playing since April, I understand that. But I thought he could have done more today. And he had a one-on-one that he missed as well. But that was a great play to get into the position. So I'll judge him, again, like Walker, in maybe next 5 games. But I thought he could have done more today, right, to be honest with you. And Andy Cook gets 1. I thought the referee should have given him a lot more fouls than he did. He only gave him 1 free kick at the end of the game and give loads against him when it was just a little shove in the back to the defender, a little tap on the shoulder. How are you doing? Oh, you're on the floor. Wait, what's wrong with you? You know, it forever happening, and the referees are blind to it. You know, it's like our answer towards the back end. It's just ridiculous. You know, open your eyes, ref, and grow a bit of a brain cell and understand that the defenders are constantly going down trying to play for free kicks. He ain't doing nothing. So that's frustrating, and I don't think he had a chance because we didn't create enough for him. So, you know, when you look at the chances we created, barely any. And when you look at the chances that we did have, we didn't do well enough. And that's something that's a repetitive theme. Something that we need to figure out how to sort out. And we've just got a real lack of options in forward areas. Today, we played 3-5-2, 3-4-3 and 4-4-2. All the 3 formations is used and none of them bloody worked. We need to stick with a manager, because if we don't, nothing's going to change. It's the definition of insanity. What's going to change? We sack Alexander, we bring in whoever you bloody well like, and they won't succeed. There's nothing to bring them in, because that's where I've had managers reject us. But what makes you think that a manager will succeed under this regime? Because I see bloody nothing that would make me, as a manager, and I know I'm not, but if I were coming into this club with no relation to Bradford City, why would I think I could turn it around? When I've seen big names, little names, and whatever name walk in and walk straight back out because they don't get given time, they don't get backed, and they have a PE teacher, Mr. Smith, come in and say, hang on, I need my 14-year-olds to use this because we're doing rounders. I mean, what's going on? And that's, on that note, that's where I'm leaving it.